You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta get a little feisty. And speaking of feisty, oh my goodness. Is everyone convinced now? Is everyone convinced, Papa Thrash? Is everyone convinced that the Leafs are now this tougher, grittier team? I mean, I did see Simmons throw a hit earlier in the game. It was looking pretty good. But no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say there was really much difference between how they played this game and how they played against the Rangers. The difference is this is the Islanders, who are not so good, and the Rangers were better. Now, Arizona played awfully, right? And then we still lost to them. So I'm not saying that you can't lose to teams that play worse than you. It happens. It happens in hockey all the time. Just not the majority of times. But I felt like they really just played kind of the same way that they did against the Rangers, because I didn't think it was all that bad, to be honest. Look, what needs to change with them is an attitude change. I hate it when people say effort. I hate it when people say effort. And I know there's going to be a lot of people tonight, right, guys in the chat? There's going to be a lot of people over the next 24 hours talk about, well, look what happens when they try hard. See, they tried so much harder tonight, and look, they got the big W and all that stuff. It's not true. It's not true. They were trying just as hard against the Rangers. They just didn't know what to do against them.
Good one.
Right? It is a good one, right, Leslie? They just didn't know what to do against the Rangers, whereas they knew what to do against the Islanders, so it worked out better, all right? So it's a confidence thing, it's an attitude thing, and that kind of stuff, like, you got to just hope. I mean, good coaching helps, good support, members of your family around and everything like that. They've been on a road trip this whole time, guys, in a country where, there's, like, no rules about crowd sizes and all that stuff, and they're dealing with that, and then, like, they're having to worry about, if I get sick here, do I come back over the border? Do I not get to for 5-6 days? What happens? They got families on the other side up here in Canada waiting for them. Like, it has not been an easy road trip. It wasn't supposed to be like this. There were supposed to be home games in between. But it was just safer for the rules and everything to just stay over there, right? So let's not forget all the external factors that go into all this, right? Attitude, intangibles, right? The things that we talk about that we see, but we can't quantify. And I just felt like, it's not effort. It can be on some teams, but it's not this one. These guys care. I definitely think they have the effort. It's just a matter of attitude, and the attitude has to be pure confidence, right? Even if things do get down for you or whatever else, right? You got to have the pure confidence, and you got to... when you find yourself in a familiar situation like a 3-1 lead, and in the back of your head, they're all thinking like, if we screw this up again, I swear, right? Part of them, right? But they have to block that part out as best they can for as long as they can. Some may never even had the thought, right? Some might not have even had that thought tonight. You don't know. We don't know what's going on inside their brains. But if you can do that, if you can absolutely put that out of your brain the entire time, then great. But when it's Toronto and the media's on you the way they are, and you know when you're up 3-1 like that, it's tough for these guys because they know what's going to happen if they don't. You know what I mean? What they're going to have to listen to and hear and see and deal with, at home, from their buddies. Like everybody sees what they do. So, it's no excuse for giving up a 3-1 lead, and I'm glad they didn't. But let's not forget that it's not as easy as that anymore. It's the new NHL. It's high-flying offense, and leads change all the time. And I thought the Leafs just did a good job of doing what they do best. You see guys like Marner, right? Guys like Marner coming in on that short-handed goal. Oh, it was such a beautiful thing, man. It was such a beautiful thing, right? Short-handed, coming in. Goes, he was trying to really do the deke there, but he slipped, you know what I mean? He slipped, but he committed to the move so that even if the puck didn't come with him, he was still moving the stick, and, the goalie fell for it, the non-deke styles just kind of drifted through him. The kid's good, man. The kid's good. I love Marner, and it's because of stuff like that. He can score, he can pass, he can kill penalties, he can be, that's a penalty-killing shift for him, and he's scoring goals still. And everybody's worrying about the power play goals. Who cares? So it was totally awesome from him. Follow it up with an Engvall goal, right? Pierre Engvall. Love that guy. You know what I mean? Leslie knows what I mean. I know a lot of people don't like this Engvall guy. I don't mind him. I think he does his job pretty well. You know what I mean? He's not expected to be a top guy. I get it, right? He does what he does very well. It's just a matter of, do we need what he does on our team? And for right now, there's no better options, I don't think, right? I'm not in the GM's war room. I'm not getting calls from other teams. I don't know what's available to me. But if this is all we have available, hypothetically, I got no problem with that. I think Engvall can be on this team. I think he can do what he needs to do. He's going to have some off nights, man. He's going to make some mistakes, right? Some of them do. I mean, our defense, who was it, Liljegren or whatever, on that one Islanders goal? Was it him on the one-on-one like that? Fluttering puck, okay? Guys, this is another thing. I don't know what these kids are being coached. I don't know what they're being taught until they get to the pros, but something's gone wrong here, I'm telling you. Because a lot of these young guys, they make this mistake, not even just on our team, it's across the entire league. A lot of new defensemen to the league, they make the mistake of following the puck too much. It's a giant sauce out the zone. It's landing down in front of you. You know it's gonna bounce. You just don't know where it's gonna bounce. So even though he might be ready for it as best he possibly can, it's a puck, man. They take weird bounces. Forget about the puck. You know there's a guy coming in on you. We got taught as kids, ignore the puck. Ignore the puck. Ignore it. Make sure that guy doesn't get by you, right? If the puck's gonna land between you, he's probably gonna go for it. That's gonna clear you for a hit, right? Doesn't even have to be a big one. Just a little one will do, just to knock him off the puck. If the puck doesn't land quite there and then you still end up bumping him, if it's a light bump at that point, you might not take a penalty at all. And if you do, you take your 2 minutes for interference. The point is, that's a random situation where too many variables can go wrong. You ignore the puck, you play the player. If you get called for it, you get called for it. And I kind of liked seeing that earlier too. There was a couple times, I forget who it was now, someone took a hooking call. I think it was Rielly, right? Who had a beauty goal, by the way, too. And we'll get into that in a second, okay? But I think it was Rielly earlier on, pulled a hook on somebody. I don't even think it was a clear break to the net or nothing, but it looked like a dangerous opportunity because it was just one of those ones where if you've seen this enough times, you've seen the pattern of what's happening in front of you. There's too much chaos, too much variables, too many ways that puck could have bounced in under Mrazek, who played quite a good game as well. So you just eliminate that. You hook him. You do what you got to do to make sure he can't get away that perfect shot. All right? You don't want him to get any shot when they're that close to your goalie in that kind of chaos. So sometimes you got to take the 2 minutes. There was times we took penalties as kids purposely. Nothing to hurt people, but to blatantly stop them from scoring. Absolutely. 2 minutes in the box is a better strategic move than a guaranteed goal. Right? And there's not enough of that. There's not enough guys willing to take the 2 minutes. Everyone's trying to play so clean in front of their own net, and what's happening is they're letting players get opportunities they really shouldn't have, like against the Rangers and like against Arizona and stuff, right? These players in front of our net are getting too many opportunities. And again, this happens league-wide. So I don't know what these young kids are being coached like, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Ooh, we got a trivia question. So quick pause on the game stuff here. Newfie Cobra comes through with a trivia question. I've been saving this one for a while, man, and I want to say it. I had to keep going back to it. Who did the Maple Leafs defeat in their first game at the Air Canada Centre, or now Scotiabank Arena, in February 1999? February 1999, first game in that building, and they played first win or first. Who did they defeat in their first game? So it was a win, but it was also their first game in the building. See if you can name it in the chat. You'll get my respect. All right. But yeah, so back to the game stuff. I mean, sometimes you got to take that 2 minutes. Sometimes you got to play a little nasty, play a little rough. It doesn't mean you have to hurt nobody, but you need to be annoying. And I'm glad to see that guys like Rielly are also able to do that. The man finishes with a +2, huh? Go Jets, go, says Mitchie the Kid. How are they doing actually tonight? And yes, it was Montreal, Newfie Cobra. So the man that issues the challenge wins the respect in the chat. So everyone give some GGs or something like that to, or some soup cans or some snakes. Set off some stuff for Newfie Cobra. Newfie Cobra. Sorry, man, my bad. I'm a big Limp Bizkit fan back in the day. Whoops, it slipped out, okay? But yeah, send some love to Newfie Cobra for getting that Montreal answer right. I'm going to get back to the game here real quick because Morgan Rielly's a great example of what I'm talking about. He does the little things right like that, okay? He takes the hook, which is normally bad, but I think he might have saved the goal. It was a good opportunity. Like, you got to do what you got to do. And his goal, you know, he takes the absolute, you know, like worst statistical shot that you could take according to all the analysts, right? Never shoot it from there. You've got like a 2% chance of scoring or whatever the number is. Well, whatever. He scored. Okay, whatever, he scored. He might have seen something visually that told him, oh, I think I can score from here. You never know. He might have seen the goalie look weak or something like that. They're not tracking that stuff with their expected goals and whatnot. There's no way that thing had a high expected goal rating, and he took it and he scored. You know? So we need to stop rewarding expected goals as if that's the only way to do things. Yes, it's obviously the better chances. We understand that. But when the better chance isn't available, when you don't have that chance, you need to know how to score from smaller areas, which means they should actually get more respect or more credit for scoring outside of your little expected goal zone. That's what I think. It's all a matter of opinion, man. It's all a matter of opinion. Right? So I love the fact that he took that shot because it's not a real percentage. Okay, so how this works, is expected goals. Real quick, guys. They'll measure how many times someone has shot from that position that Rielly shot from, okay? They'll measure for the last however, like they've been doing it since like 2003. They've literally watched all the goals in the NHL and figured out where they were on the ice when they scored it. Amongst a bunch of other details too. And the analysts don't think I know that, but yes, I do know that. They're talking about shot angle, velocity of the puck. You know what I mean? Did it come from a pass or did he skate it in? Was there opposing players in front of him? They measure all kinds of stuff, and I get that. And they run their numbers, and they say that, let's say that shot has happened 100 times, right? In the NHL since they started measuring that Rielly shot, only 3% of the people have scored, right? 3 out of 100 from that spot. So don't bother shooting from there, man. It's a wasted shot. The chances are low. No. What that means is, out of 100 times that happened so far, right, 3% of them have failed. It doesn't mean you right now shooting have a 3% chance of scoring. What you have is a 50% chance of scoring. That's what you, in the moment, before you take that shot, have. The puck is either going to go in the net or it's not. That's all. Everything else is up to you and the goalie. All right? So it's up to you to be accurate enough to be able to aim at the parts of the net that are open. It's up to you to be able to have enough strength to give it, you know, the oomph it needs to actually get there before the goalie can move. All that stuff. That's up to you in the moment. Sometimes you're going to get them, sometimes you're not. And there's all different kinds of variables there, right? But it's also up to the goalie. All kinds of things. But the point is, for you right now, in the moment, 50-50 shot, man. And honestly, if you're looking around going, look, I can't pass it to that guy because he's covered. There's no way that pass is working. This guy's coming at me right now. I'm about to be challenged and I've got nowhere to skate. There's nobody behind me, so if I ditch it backwards, we're actually going to lose possession. And it's going to go the other way on a 2-on-1. Literally, out of all my options, this shot right here is my best option. That is how you play this game. And no analysts want to tell you that. They don't. The analytics people, they don't know that. They don't act like it anyways. It's not about what's the best chance of scoring in general. It's about what can you do in the moment. That one moment with all your variables. You have to make the right decision. It's something really, in the moment, you're the only one that knows. Because even us watching on TV, we have no idea about the visual conditions of what they're seeing. We don't know. Same with the refs. Same with the refs, right? So, like, I'm not saying don't use analytics or anything like that. But I'm just sick and tired of people acting like this is gospel truth. Like this is something that cannot be denied. That it is flawless, or at least as close to flawless as anyone has ever seen. No, it's not. It's full of flaws, just like my stuff. It's full of flaws. Because in the end, we're all human trying to quantify something that is live and in the moment that really only the players on the ice know. So, whoa. Is that enough of that for you? Sorry, guys. Sorry, but the Rielly goal was really sweet, and I wanted to talk about that as well too. So, I think I've ranted enough. I'm going to quickly get into what you guys are saying in the chat. Sorry if any of you have left because I ranted for so long. I apologize, but you know, that stuff gets me amped up, man. You know, I don't get yelling. I don't get yelling at my own team and stuff like that. But I'll yell at some people online. I'll yell at some people online for sure. I got no problems doing that, right? So, please subscribe, follow along. Join me on Instagram, join me on YouTube, subscribe there. That one's free. You know what I mean? Do any kind of things you need to do to help this thing grow, man. Please, please, please spread the word. All right? Eat this, Hannafin, right? Is it Hannafin? I think that's what he says in the movie, right? So thank you so much for all your support you've already given as well, too. Please don't ever think that I take that for granted. I really don't. Every time I flick on this thing and names start popping up, oh, it makes you feel so much better because, you know, there's been nights where there hasn't been anybody right away. And it can get a little dicey. You know what I mean? It can get a little tricky. So, you know, a big Go Leafs go to all you supporters in the chat right now who are here so often that your names have become ingrained in my memories and we've had inside jokes and all that stuff. All right, that one's for you folks, okay? Now, to honor that, I want to hear what you have to say, Leslie. All right? Thanks for that.